Mary meet Taurus. Taurus sun sign, rising sign, and or moon sign. This is a 2-week reading for all Taurus starting today, the 21st of November, 2024. I am today reading with the Stone Marseille Tarot by Lily Stone, and I've already purified with this beautiful Vervain by Fragonard. Now, I've put a link in the video description on YouTube to purchase this perfume, but unfortunately this deck is no longer available, but I still like to read with it. But I have put a link in the video description of this video on YouTube to a bunch of other beautiful Marseille Tarot decks that you might find interesting. Let's see what's in the cards for Are You Gorgeous, Taurus. Starting with the 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 of coins. I don't know why I can't see what that is. The Tower card and the Sun card. Wow, you're doing great. That's wonderful. Embrace the Tower. The Tower is taking away anything and everything, especially the last dredges of that which is standing in the way of two things: your financial prosperity and your happiness. So, bye-bye. 2 words for you. Bye-bye to everything that's standing in the way, right? You don't need it. You don't want it. Let it implode. Let it burn. And it's a good thing. I know it's hard for a Taurus because the Taurus, usually you don't like things changing too quickly or too rapidly. But I think in this case, you're seeing the benefit of it. And maybe a little encouragement is necessary, but I just don't think that you are that out of the loop about how good this is for you right now, this purification that's happening. Yeah, it might be a little intense. It's not meant to be painful though. And if it's painful, it's just because somehow you're in the tower while it's collapsing. So get out and get a bowl of popcorn and watch it, right? Because you don't want any of it. Anything that is burning right now, Taurus, you don't want. And you know this. So don't try to allow that ego mind to convince you, oh no, but my favorite thing might be in there. No, it's not. Your favorite thing is not in the tower. All of your favorite things are growing, are expanding. Everything good for you is expanding right now. You are so magnetic to your good, and the divine design of your life is just shining through you, manifesting in wonderful, wonderful ways. And so don't be distracted. Don't be hypnotized by the tower. It's happening for your good, and the ego mind may try to tell you, oh, it's a disaster. It is only a disaster for everything you don't want. So, like I said, let it burn. All is well. Okay, one of the things that's burning is whatever the cruelty was that you've been going through. Now, whether that's cruelty from you or to you, or maybe a bit of both, but that's one of the things that's burning. That's one of the things that never has served you. And it's just, you can't sustain this kind of thing anymore because you're too far along, right? The divine design of your life is too much a part of you. And it just, you're at a point, Taurus, where you just can't. You just can't entertain any of the nonsense that you used to sort of put up with. It's just not possible. You can't. You know this. I'm preaching to the choir here. 2 of Cups. Oh, 7 of Wands. Ooh, yay. 2 of Cups, Taurus, you do not need to be impatient with yourself. You are in the right place at the right time. You are doing well. Yes, you are. Stop with any of that negative talk about yourself, like I should be farther along, or I should have been better, I should have done better. Stop. That's what needs to get burned in the tower. All of that stuff. You are doing so well. Yes, you. And anybody that tries to convince you otherwise needs to be in the tower. Well, maybe not the person, but the attitude needs to be in the tower, right? All of that stuff is, just let it go. It's over. It's over. Don't try to keep any of it alive. The only thing that needs to be kept alive is the stuff that you don't need to keep alive, because it is the catalyst for the tower to begin with. And that's the soul's energy, that soul's power. And what's happening with that soul right now? That soul is shining its light through you. It's the truth of who you are. It's the divine design of your life. And that divine design rearranges and reorders things for you. And what's being rearranged and reordered right now, it looks like, is your career and your money in a wonderful way. The upgrades going on in your career right now, or maybe not right now, but where you're headed, where you're headed to be, do and have in regards to your career, really good, really beautiful. And there's nothing wrong with letting that be your priority. There's nothing wrong with letting that be your priority. There's nothing wrong with letting your ideas of wealth and prosperity be a priority for you too. Don't let people bring you down right now, especially the ones that you think are so important to you. They're important to you because they're people. They're important to you because you love them, and that's wonderful. But that doesn't mean that they're more important than you. That doesn't mean they're more important than your happiness. If there are relationships and there are things going on, if there's people in your life right now that are at odds with your happiness and your prosperity and your success and are making you question whether you're good enough, those people go in the tower. That sounds horrible. I don't mean to hurt those people, but those relationships go in the tower. They do. And the tower has an interesting way of not only leveling everything, but being selective about how it does it, about what it allows to be in the tower when it collapses. So if your relationship is in the tower, that doesn't necessarily mean the relationship is ended, but it does mean that the relationship is highly transformed because a lot of the unhealthy behaviors and thought processes that are involved in those relationships are destroyed in the tower. And one of the things that I really want to see you destroy or have destroyed in that tower is your idea that you're not enough, or that you should be farther along, or that there's a missing piece, or that somehow you've got a gap that you need to fill, because none of that's the case. Never has been, never will be. And that's, I think, one of the reasons why some of you, at least, have allowed some of this meanness to go on, is because somehow you felt like it was worth putting up with so that you could have somebody fill your missing piece or something. Now, maybe it's not a person that's doing that. Maybe it's something else that's doing that. But whatever it is, it's no longer tolerable to you, and nor should it be. But the thing I also don't want to be tolerable to you is any of it coming from, any of those phone calls coming from the house, from within the house, your own ideas about yourself. It's time to let those go too. Anything that doesn't support the truth about you, Taurus, that you are perfect the way you are. You do not need anything to make you whole. You don't need any new ideas. You don't need any new behaviors. You don't need any new people, any new objects, any new anything. You are perfect, whole, and complete right now. And anything that doesn't look like it's perfect, whole, and complete is part of the illusion that's being destroyed. So you have nothing to worry about. In fact, it's time to celebrate. It's time to celebrate and let it go. Let those those ideas of self that are outdated and outmoded, and you just haven't maybe taken a moment to look at them and say, nah, I'm not keeping that. Let it go. Let it go. Anything that's not a part of the divine design, the divine will for you, you must let go. This is a very important time for you. And it's also a very important time for many of you professionally. And that's not like down the totem pole. A lot of times people think, well, it's my professional life, so it shouldn't be that important. It can be important. Your professional life can be just as, have some importance, just like your relationships and your family and all of that. Yes, it can. We think about the soul as the spoke of a wheel, and the hub of the wheel, and those spokes of the wheel are the different aspects of your life. And if it's the divine design, each aspect has its own perfection and its own need, right? And one of those right now is your profession, is your professional life. And then you've got your relationships, and you've got your health, and you've got your money, and you've got all the things, self-expression, all of the things that are important to you. They are all equally valid. And you don't need to prioritize right now. What you need to do is receive the blessings which already have all of those things in perfect balance for you. Right? And this Tower card is such a blessing for you because it's taking away everything that's standing in the way of that balance. That balance already exists for you. Everything is perfectly balanced already in your soul. Right? So this idea of you, this Two of Cups is always this idea of questioning whether you're enough, whether you're good enough, whether you shouldn't, maybe you should push yourself harder because you're not just quite good enough of a person and you need to really work hard on yourself. No. Not right now anyway. That has its place, but not right now. You do not need to work harder on yourself. You need to accept the fact that you are perfect the way you are. That can be a challenge for you, but that's what the Tower is there for you, to let go of the resistance to understanding that. Understanding that, the risk of understanding that is not an egoic thing to do. The ego wants you to think, oh, no, that's really arrogant for you to think that you're perfect just the way you are. But in reality, it's arrogant to think that you're not, because that implies that you created yourself, that somehow you could do something to mess up the perfection that was created as you, right? So remind yourself of that, and that this Tower is here to knock away everything that is trying to distract you from the perfection of who you are, and that you should be happy when things are working out for you financially and professionally. And if other people don't like that, let them go for now. If they're meant to be in your life, they'll be there. But right now, let the Tower do its thing. And when all is said and done, and it's time to rebuild some things after those structures get taken away, you'll know exactly what to do. But the most important thing that needs to get destroyed right now is your own limited self-perception and those nagging ideas that you're just not quite good enough, or that you're not enough, or boy, you really need to work harder on yourself because there's something missing there. That needs to go. That's not serving you, and it's not serving anybody else. And I don't think that it's any mystery to you. I think that most of you hearing this are probably already on that path, are already doing that, because the future looks so bright for you. And that doesn't just come out of a can, right? You have to allow things to happen, and you're allowing the very best to happen. So if you're going through a moment of Tower experience, celebrate it, and letting go of all of those old patterns which have been so sort of omnipresent for so long. It's going to be weird to have some of those patterns gone, but you'll get used to it, and it'll be fabulous. Thank you so much for spending some time with me, Taurus. Blessed be.